Boom. And just like that, he was live, or at least I hope I'm live. I hope you are as well. Hope this finds you well. Thank you very much for joining us on the 8 p.m. live stream. A big word of congratulations to our friend Richie Dupe. First on the stream with Leslie Butler coming up very fast in second place. So congratulations to the early birds. And hope this all finds you well wherever you're watching this, whichever part of the streaming universe you're on. Hi, Joe Cool. Good to see you. And John Gleason, all my pals turning up. Just going to do a quick hi, Iber. I'm just going to do a little bit of getting the getters up as well here. So he's give me 1 second whilst I press buttons in the hope that I can see everything. So hopefully should be fine. There we go. Think we've now got the getters. Oh yes, this technology. I've mastered it. I am master of the universe. Don't forget, folks, if you enjoy the content, buy me a coffee. A big shout out to those who have done so today. Thank you guys very much. Much appreciated. Hello, Mally Bites over on the Getters. Oi, oi, David. How are you, sir? I'm doing very well. I'm fighting fit. In fact, you have to be fighting fit to do this. You probably have to be clinically insane. And hello, a big warm welcome over there on the Getters to DJ Sharpie. Thank you so much for being here. Ultra Macroscope. Yeah, so many of you guys. Richie. Hey, Richie says Happy Pride Month. Hey, is it Pride Month? I missed that. Somehow I missed the fact that every corporation in the world has got it emblazoned all over its logo. Oh yeah. Hello, and also evening to my good friend, our friend City Troll, who is I can see on the stream here. We hope to be back. Just again, a couple of things, a little bit of housework before we kick off. For various reasons. Hello, Leslie, my friend Leslie Olds. Good to see you, Leslie, on the Getters over there. The 8 p.m. Thursday podcast stream will return on Thursday night, in which and we obviously will welcome our friends City Troll and Jed will be on that as well. So and hopefully Adrian, all the different folks. Hello, Pauline Flynn. Good to see you as well. And Jason and Billy Piper's teeth. When will we ever get the rest of Billy Piper? That's what I want to know. But anyway, having to get a little bit of additional refreshment here to get me through it. So hope this finds you all well. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. I know that we're on the Getters, we're on the YouTubes, we're on the Facebooks, we're on the Odysseys, we're on the Rumbles, we're on the D Lives. We are on the at least those. I've probably forgotten one, but anyway, that's sufficient. So right. I'm just reading some of your comments, by the way. As always, honestly, the best thing about my stream is I think where my stream is so good is you lot. You make it much more fun than certain other streams may get more numbers than mine. But we are like the quality edge of this, you know. Jason says we have to be well behaved on YouTube. Oh yeah, Jason. But I love that. You see, I love the fact that we have to be so well behaved. And hello to my friend Vicky, all the way over in Clearwater, Florida, the Sunshine State. I could do with a bit of that sunshine here, by the way. It's June. It's June. It's supposed to be summer. But you wouldn't know that from if I'm looking outside. It's gray. It's overcast. I think it's quite cool as well. But, it is nonetheless, it is what it is. Don't worry. We'll get everything warmed up when we get going here because we've got loads of stuff we need to talk about. We need to talk about the European Union and the UK potentially going to war. Oh, well, maybe not. But anyway, trade wars. So we're going to chat about that. We're going to talk about that because I think that is something which is quite interesting. So we've got a lot of ground to cover this evening. Lots of stuff we can't talk about, of course, as well. There's never enough time to cover everything, which is why I put them out in podcasts. So I know a lot of you guys do listen into the podcasts. Hello to my friend, We the People Trust Christ. Good to see you. So we're going to chat about, lots of stuff, but the stuff that I don't have time to talk about here in the videos, we cover on the daily podcast link below. Now, I hope everyone subscribes to the podcast channel because, get this, hi Claude, my friend, we are approaching the 500,000 milestone downloads on our podcast, which we started June of last year. So I'm hoping to have a big celebration in the next, I think, from talking to my producer, Jed, our friend Jed, it's going to be sometime in the next couple of weeks. Hello, Gigi Law. Good to see you there. Over, I can see you. I can see you all. Pauline says that would be the chemtrails and cloud seeding. Yeah, well, I tell you, it's absolutely miserable outside. I'm looking, I tell you what, it's supposed to be very sunny as the week goes on in the south of England. And yes, folks, I will be venturing across, I will be going up in the sky, going to the south of England to a concert, which I did put up on my Gettr last night. I'm going to be there on Friday, and it's supposed to be 29 degrees, 28, 29 degrees to where I'm going towards the end of this week. So that'll be good. So the next time, so if you see me after that, I mean, I'll be absolutely a lovely brown color, unrecognizable from this pale specter that faces you this evening. So, right, that's enough of the waffle. Get on with the show. I know. I can't help the waffle. It's all part of the experience, the David Vance experience. You get a bit of waffle, a side of waffle, but then a bit of meat. Hey, Claude. Claude says, David, mind your carbon footprint. Oh, yeah, I know. I feel so bad. I mean, I've probably, just by getting on that one flight. Oh, Jason, don't worry. I won't be flying from Dublin Airport. Oh, LOL, no way. Ibra says, I've been going to a rave. Well, a sort of a rave, a geriatric rave, you might say. Probably I would imagine a few polar bears will probably die as a consequence of me going on a scheduled flight, assuming it takes off, of course. If it doesn't, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'll be very cross. Anyway, that's towards the end of this week. We've got to get through the whole week. We've got a live stream tonight. We've got a live stream on Wednesday night. We've got the podcast live on Thursday night. And in the meantime, we're going to bombard you folks with as much content as possible. Oh, Bas, I'm delighted that it's sunny in St. Albans. I believe it will be sunny where I am as well. Oh, yes, Brian, I was gutted to read that Mick Jagger has tested positive for the Rona. Oh, no, Mick. And you were triple boosted and probably super jabbed. Cannot understand. Stu says to me, hey, David, are you off to Rwanda? No, Stu, I'm going to Wakanda. I think I've booked a return to Wakanda, actually, but who knows? I might end up that far. I'm just reading. Yeah, someone says to me, don't want some monkeypox. Oh, by the way, hello there. Aloha all the way to Hawaii. So I've got the full set from the distant land of Hawaii, the land of sunshine and good vibes. Pity it's a Democrat hellhole. Apart from that, it's a wonderful place, Hawaii, actually. Recommend everyone goes to Hawaii. Stay away from the politicians, though. They're horrible, politicians in Hawaii. But hey, they're horrible everywhere anyway. But I was gutted to read that, yes, Mick Jagger's tested positive for the Rona. And not only that, but as Spiver is pointing out, so was our friend Justin Castro. Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau has tested positive for the Rona. Despite having so many vaccinations, he's probably a bit like a pincushion. But as Justin says, it just shows how well it works. Okay, I've got a joke here. Someone's giving me a joke. David, what do you call a dinosaur hiding behind a tree? I don't know. What do you call a dinosaur hiding behind a tree. Hurry up. I'm waiting for the punchline here. You got to be fast with these jokes. I'm giving you the jokes, and I don't have the punchline. Yeah, so by Justin Bieber. Yeah, we could talk about Justin Bieber. Yeah, we could. Poor old Justin. He's got the old fighter look. So, okay, here's a joke. So, what do you call a dinosaur hiding behind a tree? The answer, do you think he saw us? Oh my God. Oh God. You're banned for life, Malabites. Banned for life. Now, of course, we're on the YouTubes and we're on the Facebooks. So that means we have to be ever so good. We have to make sure we don't accidentally speak any truth, because that would not be the right thing to do. So, right. So, okay, folks, that's enough of that malarkey. Good laughs all the same. Well, the point of all this is to be enjoyable. I hope, yeah, I know, Donny girl. It's a bad dad joke. It's a bad dad. Probably with a couple of glasses of wine in me, it might be even better. But unfortunately, I never drink and stream. Never drink and stream, folks. Joe Cool says, I was going to tell a COVID joke, but 99.97% just wouldn't get it. Brilliant stuff. Good stuff. This is excellent. If you want, we can just do jokes. I mean, honestly, I'm as happy as one with the other. But yeah, poor old Justin Bieber, poor old Mick Jagger, poor old Justin Castro, all the gang, the super duper boosted gang, and they've all come down with either the Rona or the paralysis. But listen, let's be under no doubt that proves how effective it is. And I think I saw Justin Trudeau. I think you'll find a podcast coming your way on the subject of Justin Trudeau. Justin gave thanks for the fact that happily, just because, hello, Dreamer 1066. Good to see you here on the stream. Yes, I recognize you highly. So, yeah, Justin gave thanks for the fact that if he hadn't have had it, if he hadn't have had the jobs, how much worse would it be? Malibite says life's pretty crappy at the moment, so gotta be dad joke time. It's always joke time. And as our friend City Troll rightly points out, the saddest joke of all for you American folks watching this, you've got a joke as a president in the form of slow Joe Biden. We're going to touch it. We're going to talk on American things later on as well, actually. So let's get through this, shall we? Let's kick off with the fact that, oh no, just when you thought the war in Ukraine was going to be it, no, there's a new war, a trade war maybe, and that's going to be between the UK and the European superstate. So let's bring up let's run with this one here. Let's bring up Boris and the gang on screen here. Here he is. There's the Clown Prince. Oh, look at that, folks. My heart breaks. Look at that. Yes, as Jed's pointing out, he's got his little UK, Ukraine, Salve Ukraine badge on. Oh, it's a lovely Boris. That's so touching. Anyway, let's get to the story. So stick with me on this one, folks. I'm going to make sense of it all for you. Majority of Northern Ireland MLAs condemn a plan to alter Brexit protocol. Yeah. Letter signed by 52 of the Assembly, the non-functioning Assembly's 90 members, says moves go against wishes of most people in the region. Well, tough. A majority. So anyway, basically, what this is saying is that at Stormont today, this was all. This amused me. 52 of the 90 members said that the government's bill to unilaterally change the Northern Ireland Protocol, part of the Brexit deal, flies in the face of the expressed wishes of not just business but most people in Northern Ireland. Oh, does it really? And then blah. Downing Street has insisted the government is going to make some changes. Boris Johnson characterized the changes as bureaucratic change. But then, oh, look, here's the bit. Let's move to the next bit. Oh, this is where my heart bleeds. But look, the letter signed by members of the pro-EU SDLP, the pro-EU Sinn Féin, The pro-EU alliance said that whilst the protocol had flaws, it currently represents the only available protections for Northern Ireland. Get out of here. Get out of here. All of you people bitching about that in the Assembly today, you're all Europhiles. You never wanted the UK to leave the European Union. You all campaigned against it. You're a bunch of cucks to the European Union. Now, they go on to say, oh, the protocol, clear economic advantages. No, it doesn't. The Northern Ireland Protocol is not sustainable. And that's, in fact, actually, here's a really interesting comment Mr. Joe Coons brought up here. If we can bring it up. He says, a vet in Derry, Londonderry, told me they had trouble sourcing meds because of the protocol. Yes, indeed. Now, we actually got the detail of this. I wonder, Jeff, if we can just jump then from this. This is the local pro-EU fanatics bitching about it. Something which is really obvious. So here's what's happened. Boris sets collision course with Brussels and Remainers. They've introduced a bill today that was going to scrap basically the Irish Sea border, which means that products traveling from England, Scotland, and Wales to Northern Ireland can travel through through a green channel, no need for any checks, straight through. Furthermore, there are to be no powers for the European Union Court in Northern Ireland. And ministers insist, of course, this does not break international law. It's quite funny when you have people like Sinn Féin bitching about that, given the amount of law breaking that the IRA did all those decades. Shh, remember that? Shh. Anyway, so the new bill being presented to Parliament as we speak. I think they're waiting to hear this podcast, this live stream, and then they're going to introduce it. A new bill presented to Parliament this evening is aimed at sweeping away key parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol, including a check-free green channel for goods from mainland Britain and stripping control from the European Union Court. Well, that's good. Here's another thing. It would also ensure that any VAT changes that happen at Westminster apply to this part of the United Kingdom. It enables state subsidies for this part of the United Kingdom, although I disagree with any state subsidies. And it gives ministers wide-ranging powers to cancel more of the divorce terms later if required. The government is saying it doesn't break international law because there's an established doctrine of necessity for changing treaties within it. So there is. It's called Article 16. Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, she who would succeed Boris, has argued that she's bringing forward practical solutions to protect the Good Friday Agreement. She's not trying to pick a fight for the EU. But meanwhile, no. Meanwhile, in Brussels, they're angry. They're furious. Brussels has apparently, they're refusing to consider any changes to this. And this guy, Maros Sefcovic, what a great name. That's an anagram of complete prat, by the way. Meaning that they said that there's basically just no change can be committed. It doesn't. Jason O'Brien's right. It doesn't. This is just bureaucracy, folks. Look, here's the thing. The UK consists of 4 countries: Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland. Right? We all understand that. It's perfectly reasonable that each of those countries can trade internally within the UK without fear or hindrance. So if someone in Scotland wants to send something to Wales, it's fine. And similarly, if they want to send stuff from England to Northern Ireland, it should be fine. But it's not. No. If you want to do that, there is unbelievable bureaucracy and cost. And that's impacted heavily in terms of Northern Ireland people and the importation of goods to Northern Ireland. It means on a simple level, for example, around Christmas time there, we had about 1/3 less choice of products in our grocery supermarkets because of the delays that were happening at the customs. So anyway, so what's going to happen now? Is the European Union is making some veiled threats. They're going to take Boris back to court. They're going to take legal action against the UK. Good luck with that one. And then furthermore, they might have to impose some kind of additional punishments on the UK. Well, Brian Brew, I agree with you, by the way. We need our exit. Now, when I say our exit, I should clarify what I'm talking about. That means Ireland leaving the European Union, which I'd love to see. I support all my Irish friends, real Irish patriots that recognise that Ireland, as a member of the EU, has essentially abandoned its own sovereignty, right? Just so we're clear on that one there. So that is something that I would definitely see. I want to see. Someone says, "What's the temperature there here in Northern Ireland?" It's about -20. This liquid is freezing as I speak to you guys. So, yeah, Jason's right. The European Union was awful for Ireland, yeah, but good for the politicians. The thing about the European Union is, oh yes, yeah. The thing about the European Union is that it's always good for the political class, just not good for the individual people. Here's an example. I wanted to give you this example. This is how stupid the Northern Ireland Protocol is, just so you understand this one. Let's just bring up this quick little story here. The UK will, so the European Union have said to mobile phone companies, Apple, all the different mobile phones, you got to have one standardized charging cable, right? That's what the European Union has said. However, the UK has said, well, they're not going to copy that. They are not. So here you go. This, I'm sure everyone watching this will have one of these. These are the different kinds of, charging cables, with the Apple one beside the USB Type-C charger. However, the European Union says this is what we're doing. The UK is saying, well, we're not considering doing it. Why should we? But, and this is the kicker then, this is the kicker. And if we can just move it up a little bit on the screen, under the current agreement, the regulation would apply to Northern Ireland. So think about that one. So Apple. So if I've got an Apple phone here. This here phone of mine. I don't know if I can show you the charger. So this charger thing here is going to require a different charging cable to that in the UK, in GB. That's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. Hey, it's 90 degrees in East Tennessee, Leslie tells us. Leslie, can you please send over some of that heat so that I can be more warmer? Because that's the sort of heat I need to have. 90 degrees. It's about -90 degrees here, by the way. So, Billy Piper says the USB-C is awful. It gets clogged with gunk. Well, Billy, that's what, if that is going to become official EU restriction. This is just an example of the stupidity of it. Northern Ireland, like the rest of the UK, should have the same kind of bloody charging cable for your mobile phones. It's insane. That the other thing, which of course Boris Johnson did sign up to, which was completely wrong. Brexit was all about leaving the European Union. That means leaving the single market. That means leaving the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. But that didn't happen. Boris didn't agree. Boris signed up to a deal that kept Northern Ireland in the European single market, EU single market, and which gives the European Court of Justice the final say over here. So I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy if we can break away, get the hell out of the European Union. And, I don't wish to have any conflict with anybody, be it in the Irish Republic, be it in the European Union. But listen, the UK, we're a sovereign state. And so we should be respected. And, the European Union, let's be honest, it is, as I said once upon a time when I was in the European Union, headquarters in Brussels, it is the black and beating heart of supranationalism on the European continent. It's a vile, vile institution. And we've seen it through COVID. We see how vile it is. And obviously, we know it's linked in with the EU, with the United Nations. It's linked into the World Economic Forum. It's globalism, writ large. And we see it over we've seen it over the Ukrainian thing as well. But it certainly an institution that the UK should have left. Boris did a deal that kept part of it in the European Union, essentially marred in the EU. And it's blown up in his face because he can't get the political institutions in Northern Ireland to work. Oh, what a pity. Never mind. And now, that's why now these changes are happening. So, yes, old Baz says it's 30 degrees in the UK on Friday. I know, old Baz. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the heat. I'll be the guy in a T-shirt and shorts and a hat on. So anyway, well, we shall watch see what develops as we as this will unfold. Mark my words, I'm talking about it tonight. Tomorrow morning, the press is going to be full of it. You're going to have outrage from all the foaming at the mouth Europhiles, the people who never wanted us to leave the European Union. They will not be happy. They will not be happy about this. In fact, what Johnson's doing is what he should have done in the first instance. So, some of you guys are fading at the prospect of 30 degrees. Well, Leslie, I'm just to say I'll have some of your 30 degrees heat. But some of the people I see here on the YouTubes are saying no. We the people says, is it usually so cold this time of the year in Northern Ireland? No, it's actually colder than normal. The global warming. It's global warming. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? It's the fact that all you guys are creating such a carbon footprint, and that's why it's freezing for me outside. I probably need to go and put a pullover on, actually. Yeah. So anyway, we'll watch this space and we'll see what comes next. Right. Let's move on, Jed, to the next slide. Let's put up our next topic here. Because this one's going to be true for you, whether you're in the US or the UK. Pump prices. Has anyone gone to the pumps to buy petrol recently? Has anyone done that? Have you got a mortgage to do that yet? You probably will do, because we know that fuel prices are hi, Donny Girl. Hey, Donny Girl, stop boasting about how warm it is in Hawaiians. I know how warm it is over there. Did I ever tell you, Donny Girl? Oh, hey, Leslie, I'll take 30 degrees. Donny Girl, I once went to, when I was in Hawaii, I went to Pearl Harbor, to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. And you know the really weird thing? Everywhere I was in Hawaii, there was Japanese tourists by the dozen going around all the designer stores. Japanese tourists here, Japanese tourists there, Japanese tourists everywhere. Except on the morning we went to Pearl Harbor, there wasn't any Japanese at Pearl Harbor. That's a strange one, isn't it? Wonder why that might be. Anyway, back to petrol prices. So the petrol prices are surging around the West. And, I think we saw the milestone that apparently to charge a small British car, it's going to cost £100. So, that's like what, $135 or whatever. And I know the prices in the States are also soaring. So there's a couple of charts I wanted to show you here. Yeah. Well, you see, like Republican Rocker, you see, this is where you guys in the States have got it easy. Republican Rocker says he filled up the car on Friday, 12.5 gallons. It cost $74 US. Yeah, but Republican Rocker, it's going to cost a bit, me and the Brits here on the stream, it's going to cost us about equivalent $135. Yeah, but don't worry, we've put it to Putin, haven't we? We've shown you Putin. We're wrecking our economies. We're making transport unaffordable, but we're fighting back against Putin, Hitler. We're doing that. So, let me see. Someone says, Billy Piper says, if I'm paying £100 for a tank, it had better be a Panzer. I might need a tank yet, actually. So, just talking. I see people talking about my Hawaiian experience at Pearl Harbor. Now, there was no Japanese on Pearl Harbor. Our producer has temporarily exited the studio, but I think he's back. He's back, and hopefully so will the information. Yeah. So look at this here. Look at this one. I've got to show you this here. This is a chart over the last 16, 17 years of petrol prices, petrol and diesel prices. Have a look at 2022. So as you can see there, folks. Oh, as you can see, hopefully, oh dear. Uh, as you can see, we hopefully as you can see, look at that, historically high petrol prices. Historically high petrol prices in the UK without precedent. Look at that. They've never been higher. Back in 2012, I think was the last time. And even then, it was nowhere near this. Nowhere near this. So that was an interesting story. Greg Elliott says, my mother is Japanese and was in Hawaii when it was bombed. Her brother fought for her America in World War II. Isn't that interesting, Greg Elliott? Isn't that interesting? All kinds of historical oddities, things that you would never have thought of. Yeah. Uh, uh, Joe Cool says 2000 oil crash was 185 a barrel. Petrol went to 120 per litre. Now oil is $135 per barrel, yet petrol is, €2.20 per litre. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. But you see, here's the thing. Here's the thing we need to understand. And it's in the next slide, actually. Governments love this. Governments absolutely love these prices going up. And you know why? Because they make a shed load of money. Now, I'm not sure what the position is in the UK, the US, but I can show you here. If we look at this chart, if we roll this up a little bit, this chart looks at taxation as percentage of UK fuel prices. And if you just go to the very end here, you see this chart where it dives down. But look at that. Diesel, 44% of the price you pay for diesel goes to the government in the form of fuel duty and VAT. And actually, I think the percentage for petrol, it's over 45.5%. So here's my thing. Here's my thing in this one. Back in April, the government was saying, oh, Rishi Sunak, our beloved chancellor, he's going to give you a 5p at the pumps price cut. And now they're going to hold an inquiry into, has this 5p been passed on or not? But I've got a much better idea. Yes, 50% is tax. The Toyota 74 says it is. Look, the government could have the price of petrol at the pumps tomorrow morning. All it has to do is say, okay, we understand people are in trouble. We understand that there's this terrible energy crisis, fuel crisis, oil prices. So we're just going to walk away from the fuel duty and the VAT, and fuel would drop at the pump from roughly, it's getting close to £2 at the moment, £2 a litre. It will drop down till about 105, 110. Why couldn't it do that? Oh, no, Rishi, he's going to give us 5p. I don't want 5p off my petrol. I want the price cutting too, because you thieving, I'll not say what, in government want to you're benefiting from the crisis you've created. And this is how globalism works, you see. Globalists, hello, Bobby Baxter, by the way. That's interesting. Bobby says here over in the Facebook, Bobby says he just saw a video coming out of Iran where apparently they can fill a car with 60 litres for $3 American. Western governments are destroying themselves from within. Exactly, Bobby. That's exactly my point. They're destroying our ability to travel, to be precise, at the same time as enriching their coffers because of this vast amount of duty. So if the government's taking 48% of something at £2, think how much better off they are than when they were taking 48% of something at £1.50. So the higher petrol prices go, the better for government. That's my point. So the government profits from this. So I know people bitch about, petrol stations are profiteering, this, that, and the other. I'm sure there's a bit of that goes on. I'm sure of that. But the main theft is being carried out by the governments of the West against the drivers, the car drivers. If I go to fill my car up tomorrow, it's going to cost me, I suppose, about 120, 130 quid. Pounds. That's what it would cost me to fill my car. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And the government's doing this because, as Katie Hopkins, my friend, Katie Hopkins observed in a little video that she put out. Oh, hi, T, all the way from Offaly. Good to see you. Thanks for being here on the YouTubes. I see you over there. As I say, we've got different streams running here, so pardon me if I miss somebody here and there. But the governments they win from this, and as Katie pointed out, by putting the price up, they're going to restrict actually our ability to travel. Some people will now be deciding, is this journey strictly speaking necessary? Maybe I could walk to such and such a place. Maybe I could cycle. And they will be doing that because just simply the price of driving your car is so high now. Now, just imagine if you're a globalist and you're committed to, yeah, there you go, behavioral changer at the pump. That's the one you want to listen to. I go into this in a little bit more detail, but as I say there, Katie Hopkins is right. The government is deliberately engineering behavioral change amongst drivers by pushing petrol prices so high and at the same time as enriching themselves, getting even more coffers in the money that they can then waste on all kinds of things. I see I've got some my Irish friends here, Westmeath and Offaly, are debating how far away they are from each other. Good to see you. Yeah, and of course, meanwhile, other countries are doing very well. India is buying lots of cheap oil from Russia, getting it at a really good discount. As you say, they're buying it and then refining it. So yeah, actually, that's a good point. So yeah, can we put that one back up? Actually, that's a really good point from Joe Cool. Just think about this. So India's getting the cheap unrefined oil from Russia. It's then refining it, and of course, it can then sell it into the EU. So we're still using Russian oil, just having to pay for it to have it diverted and refined in India. What a mad world. And David Meller, I agree with you, David. It is time for the world to say, enough of all this tyranny. You know, you're trying to stop, you're trying to crucify our ability to travel. Now, actually, yes, Donny Girl, it is definitely behavioral manipulation. And by the way, I mean, those of you watching this in the US, I mean, you've got a big country. Driving is in the American DNA, as far as I can see. You know, so it's your ability to drive is going to get harder and harder and harder as well, because there's no doubt about it, guys. In the States, you're in the same trajectory as us in terms of having eye-wateringly high petrol prices. You can have the same problem as we have. And the irony of irony for you American folks is, and I know our friend said he troll is clear in this one, you didn't need any of this because you had energy independence under Donald Trump. You had energy independence. And Joe Biden, within very, very shortly from coming to power, he gave that away. Donny Girl says our truckers are getting it worse. Yeah, well, I mean that's the other thing, Donny Girl, and it's the same in the UK as well. Truckers are the backbone of how our societies function. It is men and women and persons of indeterminate gender, because we must remember this is LGBTQ plus month, and we celebrate the punk plus on this platform. Oh yes, we do. They're the people moving the goods. They're the guys getting the food to your supermarkets. They're the guys getting all the things that you need to the local stores where you buy stuff. So once you affect the costs of the truckers, you're basically strangling the whole of society, and that's what globalism is doing. And by the way, just as an aside to this one here, and I've done another podcast on that earlier today, I think as part of this great reset, which Stu talks about here, we have a situation whereby crypto is being crushed at the moment. I think the crypto market has now gone back to 2018 levels. There's been billions wiped out because of the collapse of Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the different cryptocurrencies. That's deliberate. That's deliberate. Just on that one, I think we have I think we're going to just put up, just if anyone wants to go and listen to the stream on, maybe we'll find it on, the death of crypto. I mean, it interests me, not least because I've got crypto, but maybe others, maybe some of the rest of you have got. But crypto is being slaughtered, and there's a serious point in that. And the serious point about crypto is destroying that. Crypto is independent of government. So the globalists don't like crypto. They want to have their own central bank digital currencies, right? So what do? You basically wipe out crypto, and that's what's happening at the moment. Yeah. Once they've got rid of crypto, then they get rid of cash, and then it's the CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies. And once you've got a central bank digital currency, that equals the end game. That's it, because then they control everything. And you better be good boys and girls, because once you've got your central bank digital currency, never mind the price of fuel at your garage. If you've been a bad boy or girl and said the wrong thing in social media, once you go to pay for it, guess what? Your central bank digital currency on your phone won't work. So that's going to be you stuffed, isn't it? Do we need a digital currency to reset the economies? No, we do not, Jason O'Brien. The last thing we need is a digital currency controlled by governments. I'm all for independent. I'm not sure about crypto being a scam. I think there's value in some parts of crypto. But anyway. So this whole petrol price hike, which I know in the States, I think they call it Putin's price hike, isn't it? Everything in the States that's bad equals Putin. Meanwhile, in the UK, it's all global. It's factors outside the UK. No. The primary driver, cash is king. Yes, Donny girl, absolutely. Cash is absolutely what it's all about. And that's why they want to get rid of cash, Donny girl. That's why they want to. You won't have any cash if Klaus Schwab and the gang have their way. There won't be any cash. And in factual fact, there are places at the moment that no longer accept cash. Here in the UK, there are certain places you can go to, certain restaurants, certain pubs, cafes for definite, and some of them only accept, your credit card. So you can click, but yeah, I mean, Bobby Baxter actually just on this topic says another thing Katie said was that by stealth, the government is pushing prices up that result in pushing consumers towards electric cars, causing a fall in the sale of fossil fuel vehicles by up to 20%. Yeah, she's right about that as well. That is true. Because remember, they want you out of your filthy petrol guzzling, diesel guzzling car and into a nice, clean, green electric car that costs an absolute fortune. So might that mean some people won't be able to afford one of these electric cars? Yes. And does the government want that? Yes. So yeah, that's the reality of how it works. You see, that's how this gang roll. They want you restricted in your ability to travel. And making petrol really, really expensive is a damn good way to do that. So, I think what we're seeing at the petrol pumps, it's engineered, it's deliberate, it's behavioral change, it's moving things closer towards their 2030 agenda. I think it's about, MSM saying Putin is a double. Yeah, John says, Putin is a double. Why can't the spare one come and run our economy? Yes, hang on a second. Kremlin? Yeah, can you get me the alternative Putin? Put him on a flight to Washington, and maybe he can take over the US and because anyone could do a better job. Let's put it like that, than John Gleeson, than Joe Biden. Anyone can do that. Yeah, Ultra Spike says, crypto versus central bank. Crypto wins, globalists lose. I hope you're right. I 100% hope you are right. Yeah. Northern Monkey makes a very good point over on the Gettrs. Those who can't afford a car will have to take a government-approved taxi. Yeah, or public transport. I'll give you a strange thing. Here's a weird thing, right? Just the local story I can give you. In the center of Belfast, they're building this massive new bus station, massive new central bus station. Now, during COVID times, public transport basically stopped. Nobody was traveling. So during 2020 and sections of a fair part of 2021, they were hemorrhaging massive losses. Why would they be wanting to build a huge bus station? Unless the plan is to make public transport actually the main transport. And I believe that's kind of where they are. Yeah, Leslie Butler says, they're all swanning around in their Teslas looking smug. Yeah, I mean, yeah, what do you say? I mean, I'm not a fan of a decent electric car car. Maybe would have some benefit, but remember, they're much more polluting than petrol and diesel vehicles. So I don't really see the point of having an electric car. Plus, think of the children in the cobalt mines. Think of the children in the lithium mines. Oh yeah, we should talk about those things as well, because everyone knows that the electric cars. I know our friend Jed watching this, my producer, is much more aware of these things than me. But the electric cars are not clean cars. It's just that this is what the government wants you in them. They want to get you off the hydrocarbons, and this is just another way to do that. Right. Let's move on. Now I'm jumping in my gas guzzling jet. I'm now flying across the Atlantic, the pond, and I'm coming to America. So let's talk about what's been going on in the States. And of course, you got your show trials, haven't you? Oh, it's so exciting. Can we bring up, Jed? Let's bring up this headline here. This is so funny. This is the Washington Post. Isn't that Jeff Bezos, Mr. Amazon? Yeah. Oh, it's okay when Jeff Bezos buys things. Back up to the headline a second, Jeff. The January 6th hearing dominated the airwaves, except in Fox News. And then so many bombshell scoops, says CNN Jake Tapper. So, right, first of all. Oh, no, but headline, keep it the headline, please, Jed. Yeah. It didn't dominate the airwaves. Has anyone seen the viewing figures for the January 6th hearing? The hearings that they were pushing out, every celeb was pushing out, all the left-wing pundits were talking out, oh, you've got to tune in. Right. The viewing figures for the January 6th hearings total was 19 million. 19 million people watched out of a country with a population of 330 million. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. And they brought in a Hollywood producer, didn't they? Yeah, exactly, Jason O'Brien. They brought in a Hollywood producer. It's a show trial indeed. Here, I've got news for the Democrats. And of course, I think they probably maybe know this, but they don't want to say. Liz Cheney. Oh, God. We'll get to Liz Cheney if I can remember. Nobody was watching this stuff. The only people watching this are ultra-Democrat zombies who sit back and go, oh, yeah, January 6th, we'll never forget it. What is it they said? It was the worstest terrorism since, it was worse than 9/11. Yep. Worse than Pearl Harbor. Yep. Arguably worse than the Civil War. Yep. Yeah, it was. Everyone knows that. Well, everyone who has had a lobotomy believes that. Ultra Spike is right. The ratings are a joke. Paddy's right. City Troll's right. Nobody watched, but everyone's both scared and laughing. Well, I mean, I just laugh at them. I laugh at the Democrats, Pelosi, and the rest of this. Yes, again, great comments. David Freckling says the whole thing is just kabuki theater. Absolutely. Amen to that, brother. It really is. You guys get it. Alexander Cameron says it was all a show and, of course, a smear job on Trump. Oh, yeah, because, of course, we have to remember the purpose of all of this show trial is to damage Trump because they are scared of Trump. They are scared that they're going to lose in the midterms and then to really put the final stake through the demonic heart of the Democrats, Trump wins the White House again in 2024. So this is all about damaging Trump. It's, yes, Leslie Olds is right. It's Democratic theater. Ultra Macroscope says, what year did Liz Cheney transition to a woman? A woman? I want to know what year she transitioned to be a human. What planet does Liz Cheney come from? Yeah, Donny Girl, only journalists are forced to watch it. I can't imagine any sane human being would sit down, okay, turn on the TV. Let's watch some Kambuka theater care of the show trials. Frustrated patriot, I'm with you, brother. What sucks is they're wasting your tax money. They absolutely are. But politicians have no shame of taking your money and splashing it up against the wall. They don't mind that. Joe Cool says it had to be a false flag when there was one policeman outside the building. Hey, remember, Joe Cool, we is on the YouTubes. And on YouTube, we can't even think things like that. We have to agree that, yes, January 6th, it was the most worstest insurrection. Well, it was a pretty awful insurrection because it didn't do very much. Kabuki theater. It's a great expression, that, isn't it? Republican Rocker says he'd rather watch the grass grow. Yeah, I think if you had a program watching, just filming slow release of grass, it would probably achieve greater ratings. So it was a disaster for them. It was a disaster. But see, I'll tell you what, American friends in the UK are pathetic, awful, toxic British media is going, oh, this is it. They're coming for Trump now. This is it. Finally, they've got the dirt on Trump. They've got nothing on Trump. You've got nothing, right? This is just Democrats. They're desperately playing their main talking points. You American guys know it. They played the Putin card. Oh yes, Hitler Putin. They played that. Then they played the Roe v. Wade. Oh yeah, abortion, woman's right to her body. What about the right to your body when it comes to the vaccination? Shut up. So okay, we haven't. What about then? What about in this case now? What about January 6th? This is the Democrats talking to themselves. That's all they're doing. Leslie is right. There's not, but yeah, I mean, the Ultra Macroscope says the Dow's down 1,000 points. Oh yeah, I know. I put a meme up on that. Joe Biden is destroying the U.S. economy like he's on steroids, which allegedly he might be. I don't know. I can't say. I'm on YouTube, yeah. I better not go there. Why did the word adrenochrome come into my head? I don't know why adrenochrome came into my head. Anyway, David, get back to the topic. The January 6th show trials are all pretty farcical. They won't achieve anything. They're red meat to the rainbow-haired core Democrat vote. But yeah, beyond that, I'm sorry. It's a big nothing. And I think, Jed, then I wanted to bring up another one here, just to sort of bring things to a conclusion beyond the January 6th hearing. And this was, of course, equally important, folks. An American guy. Well, I actually think this is important to everyone, not just Americans. This is important to us in the UK. So the BBC here is celebrating cautious welcome to a bipartisan deal in Senate on new safety measures. This is relating to US so-called gun control, right? And if we scroll it up, Jed, I think you'll see that the usual, BBC stage photographs. Enough is enough. What about when it comes to abortions? Is enough enough? No, enough's never enough. Yeah, I understand. Gotcha. Because life's so important, right? Yeah, life's so important. Yeah, Chuck is such a beta. He definitely is, Chuck Schumer. So US campaigners, oh, you mean Democrat activists, have welcomed a potential cross-party deal, on a gun safety reforms, but stressed they don't go far enough. There is progress, even if small, said, oh, look, little David Hogg, a survivor of the 2018 Parkland school shooting. How's your pillow business going, David Hogg, by the way? Remember you were going to produce pillows and you were going to put it up to all those, to that evil Republican Trump supporter who makes pillows as well. What's his? I forget his name. Hello, James Jameson, by the way. Good to see you. And then we've got Gabrielle Giffords, who was injured in 2011, saying it's a small step forward. Now, here's the important bit. Just scroll down a little bit. The only reason that they got these additional checks brought in was because 10 Republicans, 10 rhinos went with the Democrat proposal. And you could predict the ones that it was. Paddy, we'll cover this probably maybe on Thursday night, if it's. And I'm sure it's still going to be in news. Right, Leslie, from your cold dead hand. This is what I love about Americans. T says, did you, even Republican, did you mean Gerry Adams? Shh. You mean the World Economic Forum graduate, Gerry Adams? The Mike Lindell, that's right. Thanks, Streamer. I couldn't, the name went out of my head. These rhinos are the people who have empowered the Democrats. And this is what worries me so much. I want to see the Democrats removed from power. But when you've got people like this, these 10 Republican senators going along with this, and you could write, you could guess their names, you write down their names, the usual suspects. These people need removed. These are Republicans in name only, a name owner. Biden, of course, then wakens up from his slumber for 5 minutes to say the plans were steps in the right direction. What's the right direction, Joe? Oh, I think I know what the right direction is. Let me guess, folks. The right direction is to disarm you. The powers that be do not want. Hang on a second. So thankful for her patience to bring us pickled mango from her yard and avocados. Just pickled mango, and yeah, it sounds interesting. Avocados, like to try that. They want you disarmed. And here's my real point on this one here. See, I'm thankful that so many of you American folks are armed, that the right to bear arms it's endemic. It's at the heart of what it means to be an American. Now, in the UK, we're armless, so to speak. We're not allowed to carry. Only people that carry arms are the forces of law, some of them, and the criminals, the bad guys. Oh, they do. But those of us, no, we don't. And what that means is, and this is what the American founding fathers understood, for which I have huge respect. They understood that if a defenseless people, an unarmed population, is ultimately at the mercy of the government. Whereas if you're an armed population, the government is at your mercy, and that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. The Second Amendment all the way, Republican rocker. I agree 100%. That's why it's so important that there's no compromises. I did this podcast, which Jed's kindly put up. He probably used yesterday. When they take away your guns, they take away your freedom. Our freedom in the UK and in most European countries has been taken away. If the government moves against us, we got no. Well, we don't. Technically speaking, we have nothing. Donny girl, amen. An armed society is a free society. This is what I believe. And Democrats don't like that. Globalists don't like that. Thanks, T, by the way. Irish government. Well, the Irish government are just basically, look, they're just shills for for globalism, actually. I mean, so I feel bad for the Irish people having such an awful government. But I feel bad for my own government, for myself, having such an awful government as well. Back to the arms things. You guys need to keep the right to bear arms is fundamental. And I hope that you American folks will always stay that way. Yes, my friend obviously says Switzerland is very armed and very polite. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I've got friends in Switzerland, and the amount of weaponry in some garages over in places like Geneva and Lucerne and elsewhere, you wouldn't believe. But, again, if you have the means to defend yourself, then the government thinks twice before moving against you. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why, for example, in the UK, we were locked down. Boris Johnson told us, you have to stay in now for 3 weeks. That's it. And that was it. If we were armed, I wonder would Boris Johnson have been as keen to tell us, you've got to stay in for 3 weeks. Oh yeah, Boris? Are you going to make me? Are you? If I was an armed citizenry. But we're not unarmed. We are an unarmed citizenry in the UK. And you guys in the States are armed. And Leslie Olds makes a valid point that the globalists wants us all disarmed. So I stand 100% with my American friends in defense of the Second Amendment. I don't believe in there should be any more messing around with the armed legislation. Richie Dupe says, we've still got our rolling pins, never give them up. Yes, give them hell, give them a rolling pin. That's not sure how that works out against armed agents of the state, though, Richie. Maybe not too good, unless, of course, you're a ninja level rolling pin level. So, yeah, I think Jason O'Brien sums it up. Maybe this is the best way to bring things to a conclusion. Government should fear the people. Jason's right. Amen, brother. And they do when the people are armed. But when the people are defenseless, as they are in Ireland, as they are in the UK, as they are in many countries around Europe, then we fear the government. And that's all the difference in the world. So, as I say, yeah, James Jameson says, ban knives, all those knives, all those knives. How many lives are lost to lives? How many lives are lost to abortions? I wonder what the number might be. Could we get some stats on that? Ultra Spike says the Supreme Court's going to teach Democrats to leave the Second Amendment alone very soon. Watch close. Yeah, that's the Supreme Court, by the way, where some of the justices have had potentially assassination on their lives. Have you seen that? Media not talking about that one too much. Wonder why that might be. Why might that be? Yes, we do need a license to buy a butter knife in the UK, but that's because we're so much more civilized. No, we're not. We're completely cooked. I completely object to the fact that the UK citizenry cannot be armed. I'm one of those who I definitely wish it were otherwise. City Troll says there are 700 million firearms in the hands of American civilians. 700 million good reasons why Joe Biden or whoever comes after him will be hesitant to move against you. And I mean, you know, I talked about the Uvalde shooting. That's the thing. That was a trigger. That was a trigger for this one. And there's a lot of questions about the Uvalde shooting. The shooter himself, known to the police apparently for 18 months, they'd been talking to him beforehand. That's weird, isn't it? That's really weird. A lot of these mass shootings, they're kind of weird in the States. But it's funny how whenever they happen, the Democrats are just ready to pounce. Right, time to introduce stricter gun control. Well, as I say, Frustrated Patriot says, God, what do you do when someone breaks into your home in the UK? Well, there's a couple of things, but I can't really say because I'm on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. But yeah, you don't. Well, you're defenseless, or you may be defenseless. Let's put it like that. There may be other steps you could take, I suppose. But yeah, the Toyota says the FBI seems to know him. Yeah, they do, don't they? It's weird, Dan. It's weird. Same in the UK. You see the guys who commit the acts of jihad, always known to the security forces. It's weird. There's something there, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Anyway, David Freckling says, we have cricket bats in the UK. Yeah, we're going to defend ourselves with cricket bats, a traditional British sport. And of course, the Glasgow kiss, you know, the proverbial bump to the head. So they got that in Scotland. I think in Ireland, what we do is we talk the burglars into submission. Burglar says, please let me go. Stop talking to me. And so it is. I'm going to stop talking to you folks as well. Listen, thank you very much for being here on the stream. We've got a little clip to play with. I think we'll play out on a little clip of a much loved figure, cartoon figure. And I will simply thank you wherever you've watched this. Thanks for being here. I've enjoyed the chat as always. It's been a buzz, and I will catch you up. Jed and myself will be back on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. in East Coast time. I'm not sure what time it is in Hawaii. It's probably party time, but wherever it is, that's when we shall return. So let's play out with Buzz and the gang. Little twist on this one, and see you Wednesday evening. Cue Buzz Aldrin.
Friend in need. We will not rest until he's safe in Andy's room. Now let's move out.